So, as part of the Deaf Havana headline tour, we've got Charlie Simpson.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, good mate, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. So is it nice to be on the road again?
It's really nice, man. Well, it's nice to be playing with the full band again, because I've just come back from the States. I did Uprawr.
Yeah. How was that?
It was really good fun.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been a big fan of Uprawr since I was younger. And Kevin Lyman last year started up the acoustic tent, and it went down really well, so we brought it back this year.
Oh, awesome.
And that was just me and Nick, my backing singer, doing that, so it's much more restricted back to the music model. So it's really nice to get out with full band again, and the most exciting part of this tour for me is being able to play a couple of new songs.
Oh, awesome.
So I've been playing Young Pilgrim for the last 2 years now, so it's a really nice chance to get to road test some of the new songs.
Oh, awesome. So this new material then, is there a new record expected?
Yes, we're coming out 12th of May, I believe.
Awesome.
And I'll be announcing headline shows in January.
Sweet. That's huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you did a lot of touring, like for Young Pilgrim, like you were in a lot like into Atlantic, and also you did Walk Tour UK, and then obviously took it over to the States as well. So where did you find the time to sit down and like write the material? Did you give yourself a set gap to just like chill out there?
Because you know what, writing on the road is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
You'd think that it'd be great because you're kind of seeing new places every day, but to actually find the time to sit down and have a quiet moment to yourself is few and far between.
Yeah.
I know I was good friends with the While She Sleeps, you know While She Sleeps, and they were in the middle of writing a record on Walk Tour, and it really seemed like a stress for them.
Yeah.
And I think they were just like the management that we just need to chill out.
Yeah.
So I said to my management, they're going to have kind of 4 or 5 months at home. I can still do stuff, work stuff, but I just want time based at home.
Yeah.
Because I've got a home studio in London, so I wrote the majority of the stuff there, and then went to the studio with a guy called Steve Osborne, who was brilliant to work with down at Bristol, Uprawr, and he has been coming out next year, so it's just nice to be, I kind of feel rejuvenated coming out and playing new stuff. It's great with the Deaf Havana guys, because they're such cool guys.
Yeah.
Great band, so it's a good kind of good place to start momentum from,
Yeah, totally. I mean, your setup and sound is pretty much the same as well. I mean, obviously you're a solo artist in their band, but I mean, the sound they've got going on at the moment, like the way they're directing and the way they're going, it is a build of pretty much two similar sound.
Well, that's what I like. I mean, obviously they've progressed through their career, and I love the Old Souls record. I think that's fantastic. And so actually, the billing works really well, and they're really great guys as well. So we actually meant to do some shows last year when they did like an acoustic tour, and we were going to do some stuff together then, but the schedule was different, so good to do it now.
Yeah, exactly. Got to get it.
Yeah.
So you also did a few months ago as well the coldest show ever.
Yes.
Like, was that your idea? Was that something that someone else said and you were like, yeah, go for it, it's great idea?
It was Jägermeister's idea, because basically I do a lot of work with Jägermeister in the UK, and they just rang me up and said, we want to do something a bit mental, a bit, just a bit out there. And they said, how do you feel about going to the coldest inhabited place on Earth and playing a show? Yeah. And that was really it. It wasn't even really about world record at that time. Yeah. They just said, do you want to go on an adventure basically? What film are you doing? And I said, that sounds awesome. Because when else are you going to go to Siberia? Yeah. Especially a place called Omnicon, which is so far out of the way anywhere else. And then someone was doing some research when we were putting the itinerary together. They said, no one's actually played a show at these temperatures before, so why don't we ring up the Guinness Records and see what they say? And they said, if you manage to do it, then it'll be a record. I don't think many gigs have gone before that have been played at those temperatures, but it was the coldest it got was minus 45 degrees, which I tell you what, man. I can't even explain to you how cold that was. Yeah. Like when you breathe in, your lungs just hurt.
How did you sing? Like, was it?
Well, it wasn't a singing so much of the problem. I had these gloves with I had to have my fingers up because I was playing guitar with gloves on. And I was saying, we had like a guy with us who is used to taking people to very remote places, and he's kind of medically trained to deal with those kinds of situations. Yeah. And I said, well, what are the signs that I'm in trouble? And within the second song, I'm just never experienced the kind of pain that was in my fingers. And I said to the guy, like, I'm not sure I can carry this on because I'm literally, I can't feel my fingers and I'm in such pain. And he said, you're about, I was like 12 minutes away from frostbite. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Cheers. So
I got 11.5 minutes so I can be cool.
So I was like, okay, right. So, I just said, well, I'm going to do a couple more songs. And I think, I didn't feel my fingers for about 4 or 5 hours afterwards. So it was an experience, man. And just the whole thing with no running water and, you're, just the way, these people live is astonishing. It opened my eyes to the fact that people live, in such remote places.
Yeah.
And they get along and it's amazing.
Yeah, I imagine it's a pretty cool place to go, especially as an artist as well. Decent inspiration as well.
Yeah. I mean, the kind of backdrop to where we were was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
We flew into a place called Yakutsk, which was the capital of Siberia, and then you can't drive to the place we can't fly to the place we were going. It's too remote, too cold.
Yeah.
So we had to drive about 2,000 kilometers, and the scenery on that 4-day drive or 3-day drive was spectacular.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So it was good fun, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Cheesy man. So in terms of now, you as a musician, do you feel as though you're now solely going towards the solo career and the solo path? Do you reckon the band stuff is something that you're going to leave behind?
No, absolutely not. I think there'll be a time in the future when I start writing Fightstar again.
Amazing.
And we'll play music again. I think for the immediate future, I just want to focus on this new record.
Yeah.
2 of the Fightstar guys are actually doing another project as well called Gunship, which is like an electronic kind of thing. It's really good. They played a couple of tunes the other day. And so they're going to be doing that. But, I see those guys all the time.
Yeah.
Dan and I actually live pretty much next to me.
Oh, wicked.
But yeah, for the moment, obviously, it's hard to juggle things around. So I'm, this next kind of, at least a year is going to be focused on this next record. Because, I'd rather focus on one thing at a time than do 2 things at once.
I mean, when you contrast and compare the two, obviously, Fightstar had sort of really brass heavy sound behind it, a full band setup, pretty hardcore at times.
Yeah.
And then what was the solo sort of almost acoustics element, something that you've always wanted to just take a step into?
Yeah, definitely, man. When I was growing up, my dad used to put records on like Jackson Browne and the Eagles and the Beatles and stuff. So I was always, and even when I was a teenager, my brothers got me into Elliott Smith and Jeff Buckley and Pete Dorn, and I was always kind of listening to that stuff in and amongst listening to rock stuff like Deftones or whatever. So it's always been, and I just love the harmonies, man. I just love harmonies. I love the acoustic sound. So it's always been a big part of my sort of musical love, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was a very natural progression for me to make. And I thought to myself, one day I'll do it. I wasn't quite sure when. It just seemed like a natural time. So it's been great, man. And the band I'm touring with are amazing. Even though it is a solo project, I think when I'm on the road with the full bags, we've got 6 feet back. It kind of feels like
you're still in the band.
Yeah. We all get on so well together. So I love being on the road, man. It's a weird vibe. When I'm in the studio, I'm loving the studio, and then I kind of get itchy feet. I want to be on the road. I'm on the road too long. I'm like, I want to get back in the studio. But I'm very lucky to have to get the chance to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. And so, do you find yourself at times sort of missing playing the heavier stuff, like when you're at shows and stuff? Do you feel like, oh man, I really wish something else to get a bit of a break?
Not really, to be honest. Not really. I mean, so there's moments in the set, like there's a track of Riverbanks, the last song on Young Pilgrim, and we close the set with it most of the time. I mean, it goes pretty huge, and so I do get my fix of that. It's great, but it's I love doing it, and it's just a different vibe.
Yeah. So as you said, do you reckon in the future, like you and Fightstar boys may sit down and say, right, just call it into hiatus, and it's let's get back on track.
When that'll be, I can't say yet, because obviously we're focused on our own thing. But in the future,
That's awesome. I bet the vocal cords having a nice little break.
Exactly. No screaming.
I bet, in terms of on tour, trying to maintain and save your voice, is that something that you're really conscious of?
It is, man. And you know what? It's because I'm a singer. I think the hardest thing to maintain is the vocals. And that's, after a show, we've done a great show. We go out on a night out, for instance. So tempting just to start drinking shots and getting completely wasted. It's like you just can't do it. Unless you've got a day off the next day, your vocal cords do stuff up. So it's almost, sometimes I'm just like, oh, it's just be a drummer. But it's so you have to discipline yourself.
Yeah.
And I think, before I actually just had my tonsils out a year ago because I was getting constant tonsillitis, and if you go on the road, lack of sleep, drinking after shows, it takes its toll. And since having my tonsils out, it has been a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I just think you just got to have a discipline. And I think you don't want to go on stage and for your voice to be messed up, and people are paying to see you.
Yeah.
You have to have a professional outlook on it. But when there's a day off, then we'll go.
Yeah.
Then we'll go out and go crazy.
So like when you do get a chance to go out and go a little crazy, like, do you go out with the band mostly?
Yeah. Well, usually like we talk like this, we go out with Deaf Havana boys, Big Sixes boys. That's what's great about touring with bands that you get on with.
Yeah.
The fact it's a really nice camaraderie, and that's what I found on Warped Tour. Like there's 80 bands, and we were really fortunate this year. There were loads of great English bands.
Yeah.
We met like Tonight Alive and Hazard Houses, just Australian bands, and everyone's just having such a great time together. And I think when you get that sense of kind of camaraderie, it makes the whole tour such a nicer vibe. So I think, like tonight for instance, we've got like an after show thing where we're going to go out with both bands, and day off, we'll go and do stuff together.
I got to send that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get a car in.
Yeah, I think we might be going. Actually, no, sorry, it's the day off tomorrow after Edinburgh. I think we're going to the zoo.
Oh, sick!
Edinburgh Zoo's pretty awesome. I think they have a couple of pandas, so.
Badass.
Yeah.
That's so huge. So when you mentioned Warped, then I've heard for UK artists going over to Warped can be a bit apprehensive at times because obviously you're a long way away from home. So it's like a bit of a weird environment. Like it's not. You can't really compare it to like Reading Leeds or like Download or anything. It's just so unique.
Yeah, it's its own thing, and the way that it's conducted, the fact that no one knows what stage time they're going to have until the morning.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny because a couple of bands I spoke to that have done it before I went out were a bit like, it's a bit of a slog.
Yeah, I know the Twin Atlantic was
And I was like, I was surprised because I absolutely loved it. I think it's different people. It's what you take out from it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is it's long drives. Obviously, you're 28 days, you have 2 days off.
Yeah.
So it's pretty grueling, but it's amazing fun. Man. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's gnarly, man. Well, listen, best of luck with the new record.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to get my ears around it. Massive fan of your film and Fightstar as well.
Thank you so much.
And look forward to hearing more in the future.
Take care, guys.